Yo, what is up guys, SurgicalGoblin here and welcome to this new episode. In today's video, actually a little bit different as usual. Today I will be doing a Q&A, questions and answer. I actually asked on Twitter, I think about 2 or 3 days ago, if you guys would like to see a video like this. Many positive reactions, many people said like, yes, please do it, like can you do it? Actually I already like asked questions, and after that I made a tweet like saying leave your questions down below, and I think over 150 people commented asking questions to me. Actually many questions also the same, so I was not able to answer all of them. I think I picked around like 30 questions, so I will be answering them in today's video. I do want to thank everyone for asking questions, and also I want to ask you guys to let me know if I should do this more often in the comment section down below, and if you guys would like more like personal videos, because of course this will be also questions about Clash Royale, but also personal life, for example question about my parents, my girlfriend, etc, etc. So let me know in the comment section down below, and I would say let's just begin with the first question guys. And the first question is actually from Varico. He asked, do you think that you recently have been performing better because you joined a new team, or did you just start training harder and did you take it more serious? So that's a really good question. I think the main like key in this like performing better is being happy while playing. I think it's really important. And me joining Team Liquid, also right now playing in Giants, like with a lot of friends for SLO, which is a Spanish league. I think that definitely influenced my kind of mood, and well, not necessarily my attitude, but definitely my mood, like being happy and just kind of more confident. So I definitely think it mattered. And of course I'm also training hard, but I'm not necessarily like the last couple of weeks any like harder or more serious. So the second question is from Eric, actually the coach of Cloud9, and he asked me, who do you see as the strongest team so far in CRL? So also a really good question. Of course the teams are not announced yet, but most of the players are already known, especially the legacy players, like the 2 players for each team. So far from Europe, I definitely think that Fnatic has a really strong team. Of course, Liquid, like me and Azilis. And I think by the time this video is online, the 3rd player is also announced, which is also a beast. Like I'm super happy about the team. In my opinion, it's kind of like a dream team. And of course for the North America region, like Cloud9 with Eric, the one who's asking the question, as a coach, and then trainer Chris and CMCU as a team. I think that is really like a really strong team. And also Complexity with Colton W83 and then Adrian Piedra, of course. So this is definitely, in my opinion, like the top 4 right now so far. But of course, like you have so many teams with really strong players. For example, also in Europe you have, I believe, Elegance, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong or right, I mean, but those have, for example, Lupanchi, Doberman and Donkey Kong, so that's also like a beast team. So CRL, I can't wait, I'm super excited for it. So I definitely think those are the top teams for now. So let's see, the third question is Cam, and he's asking, how do you survive so far from your love Daria? So actually that's quite hard, of course, because if you guys don't know, like I have a girlfriend who lives in Russia. Personally, I'm from the Netherlands, so it's quite a long distance relationship. And also I travel quite a lot, so of course it's really difficult, but we try to meet each other as like much as possible. For example, right now I will actually go there, like when I'm recording this video, I'll go there in 7 days from now, so I'm super excited for that. I can't wait. And I think in a long distance relationship, trust is really important, and like planning, like for example right now we're already planning things for June, July, etc, etc. So I think that's really important, and of course like trying to call as much as possible. So that's basically it. So the fourth question is from Elite Couchman, and he said, do you think that the classic lockbait is still viable? So the classic lockbait in this meta, I mean of course it's viable, you can use it and you can win with it, but it's not really competitive deck or a really solid deck, just because Dark Prince is so popular. But I hope maybe in the next update if Dark Prince gets a nerf, maybe the classic lockbait will actually be better again, because I definitely love it, and I think it's a really good and solid archetype. So number 5 is City Pong, and he said, let's say Clash Royale dies in 5 years from now. What is your plan? Will you continue making videos on other games, or will you go back to college? So that's a really good question in my opinion, and I can't tell, because I don't know how it will develop in like 5 years. For example, will I still be playing competitive? Will I, for example, maybe be a coach or whatever? Maybe like my own esports team, like whatever. I don't know, like maybe an organization or a company, wants to hire me to do something for them. Like I don't know how it will develop. Hopefully I can keep going inside of the esports scene, I would say, just because I don't really want to go back to college, but if needed I can always go back. So that's also why I think like making this decision to go full-time Clash Royale right now isn't that risky. So yeah, good question. Number 6 is Cringe, and he says, how do you think Clash Royale is doing? What do you think should change? So also a really good question. In my opinion, Clash Royale is doing really good. I mean, Clash Royale League just got announced, but that does mean like it's only for a competitive scene. And if you're like a casual player, you don't really like to watch, for example, my brother, he loves to watch like the competitions, but I also know players who just play for fun and don't care about like the big tournaments, the live events, etc. So I definitely think they should do more updates, like more frequently, and balance changes as well, especially also for the casual players, just to keep it fun for everyone. But at the same time, like the frequent balance changes also, yeah, of course, affects the competitive meta. So yeah. Number 7 is Eamon, and he is asking, what is your favorite emo to BM with? So that's also an interesting question. I didn't expect this, but it was really original, so that's why I actually picked it. And in my opinion, I don't really have a favorite emo to BM with. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think like BM, I mean, using emotes, some people, for example, a cry face or whatever, or even a thumbs up, people see it as BM, but I don't think I have like necessarily a favorite emote. Of course, like in my videos, I always give people like the thumbs up and the good luck, which is just, in my opinion, good manners instead of bad manners. And at the end it's saying like good game, well played, and the thumbs up. So I guess like not necessarily my favorite BM emote, but my favorite emote is the thumbs up. So let's see. Number 8 is Gian, and he says, how much hours per day do you practice? So I would say from 3 hours per day until, let's say, maybe 7 hours today. It completely depends on the day. It also depends, like, for example, we'll have like a tournament this weekend, or is my next tournament in 1 month? Like, for example, if it's in 1 month, then I won't be practicing right now every single day super hard, especially if, for example, balance changes can come out. Then it doesn't really make sense to practice like really solid meta decks if I won't be using them anyways in the competition. So number 9 is Alexis. How do you feel with your girlfriend? Do you think you will be in a relationship longer or shorter? Congratulations to both and best of luck. Thank you very much. I think we're like doing really amazing. I love her very much and she loves me very much. So I think definitely we will be longer and hopefully like for the rest of my life. That will be awesome, of course. Number 10 is Jetty Ben. Besides the game being fun, why do you play the game? I think the main reason is just because I love the game. I mean, I started downloading the game, and from that moment, like, I didn't stop playing anymore just because I really love playing it. I really, love the game and how it's, unique. So, besides, like, having fun and just loving the game, I don't really have a reason. Like, I don't do it for the money or anything. It's just, because I'm really passionate about the game. Number 11 is Clash Bannon. Hey Serge, you are a great YouTuber and pro player. You make amazing content, so keep it up. Thank you very much. And he said, my question is, do you still study? Do you have a job or fully CR? So I think I answered it a little bit already in the previous questions, but right now I actually decided to stop studying, to fully focus on Clash Royale, fully focus on content creation. Unfortunately, right now with the CRL announced and other leaks, I'm not like that consistent as I used to be with content, so I do want to apologize for that. Just because I think CRL will be so huge, maybe it's like better to practice like a little bit more often or travel a little bit more often rather than making a video. I'm sorry guys. So number 12 is Merrick, and he says, what got you into playing CR? Did you ever see yourself as a pro player? So what got myself into CR, I actually used to play Clash of Clans. Also my nickname is coming from that. I'll explain that later on the question. But actually I used to play Clash of Clans, and back then I used to watch some YouTubers. And when Clash Royale got like kind of announced, at first I wasn't interested at all, like the global release, I wasn't interested at all. I actually was like, nah, I won't play that game ever, etc. But then actually with the worldwide release, like it was also, like I was able to download it from the Netherlands, like the Play Store back then with my tablet. I was actually able to download it, and as I said, from that moment I didn't stop playing at all. Like I was playing every single day, practicing. Of course I did not see myself as a pro player, but once the tournaments came out, once I was playing in the 15k tournaments, I love those, by the way. Hopefully one day Supercell will revamp the tournaments and make them like really good again, because as I said, like I'm a competitive player and I love those tournaments. But what I was trying to say is, like while playing those 15k tournaments, I was noticing that I was quite consistent, like at the top. I even finished number 2 back then, which I never expected. Like finishing number 2 in the 15k was like huge for me back then. And then at one moment, actually the ESWC qualifier was there, and I actually managed to qualify to Paris. So at that moment, I was kind of noticing, and I knew that I had potential to be to become a pro player and actually take the game to the next level. Number 13 is Elite Roy, and he can you make a series where you try fan-made decks? I actually really like the idea and also really like the question, so that's why I wanted to feature it, and I definitely would love to do that. I don't know if you guys would like to see it, so also let me know in the comment section down. Would you guys like to see a series where I play with a deck which you guys can submit? I don't know, maybe on Twitter, Instagram, maybe even in the YouTube comment section. Just let me know in the YouTube comment section down below right now, and maybe I'll actually add the series. So number 14 is Dina, and he says, what is your, or she says, what is your favorite card? So my favorite card right now in the game, I would say is Tornado, just because it's super versatile. You can activate the King Tower with it, you can pull off like some crazy defenses, etc. Even on offense, like for example with the Golem push, you can pull, for example, the Executioner towards your push, you can pull, I don't know, let's say a Princess or whatever. So Tornado is, in my opinion, my favorite card right now in the game, and if I would have to pick like a unit, like not a spell, because Tornado is a spell, I think either the Miner or the Princess. So number 15, Redmar, can you clarify in what team you are? So also a good question, because there has been some confusion about teams. Just because right now I'm also playing for Giants, Vodafone Giants in SLO. So that's just for SLO, like it's just the Spanish league. So I'm only playing for that. And my main team, like for CRL, I will be representing Team Liquid. For every other tournament, I'm in Team Liquid. So that's, my main team, as I said. So number 16 is Zahid, and he says, do you find it hard to keep enjoying the game? To be honest, not at all. I mean, I love the game, as I said before, but of course sometimes, like when, like right now actually, I'm not sure when I will upload this video. Maybe the update has already been released when I upload this video. Maybe not yet. I don't know like when the update is coming, of course. But I do think like right now the meta has been such a long time since we had an update. So it's not like I'm not enjoying the game anymore. It's just like I really hope, like I just can't wait for the update. I just can't wait for the balance change, etc. So it's not like, to basically answer your question, it's not hard to keep enjoying the game. But I do think that it's important to keep bringing out balance changes and updates. So number 17 is Clash Extra, and he says, what is your favorite archetype and why? So my favorite archetype, I'm not sure if this is an archetype, but Psycho decks. I really love Psycho decks. I guess you could name it like Control archetype, like Minor Control, maybe like Hawk Rider Psycho decks. For example, Lockbait is also like a Psycho deck, like kind of like a Control archetype. So I really love those decks, and why? Just because in my opinion those are one of the most consistent decks. Like it doesn't really, of course it gets countered, but if you play like really flawless, it doesn't really have a hard counter. So that's why I really love those decks. And also because, as I said, like my favorite card is Tornado, and usually like the quick cycle decks go really well in combination with the Tornado. So number 18 is Road. He says, are you happy with your position right now within Clash Royale, or would you like to go higher? So that's also a good question. I think there's always space to like improve, not only in Clash Royale regarding like esports, for example, my performance, but also, for example, with content creation. I would love to add, like, for example, new series, like someone just suggested, a fan made, like with decks, like fans, like you guys watching right now can submit decks. I will use them just to interact more with fans, maybe even like quality regarding, for example, editing. In my opinion, my editing skills are really bad, but I think the gameplay, like, kind of evens that up. So I definitely would like to improve, like, as I said, like regarding esports, but also regarding content creation and just in general. So number 19 is Ryan, and he says, do you play any other games besides Clash Royale? So right now, not at all. I only play Clash Royale basically like for competitions and also like content creation just on Clash Royale. Maybe in the future, like who knows, maybe I will actually feature like other games. Maybe I'll start playing other games. Actually, some of you guys watching right now also requested that. But so far, I will stick to Clash Royale. So number 20 is Ika, and he says, where do you see yourself in 2 years? Still play? Do you think you will still play competitive, or do you think the game will be dead and you would have to go back to studying? So as I said before, I have no idea how it will develop. I mean, right now, so far, it's going amazing. Like my content creation is consistently growing. My performance is going really well. I will play CR just announced like the Clash Royale League. And in general, it's just amazing, and hopefully it will keep going like this, and hopefully in 2 years I will still be able to play competitive, or maybe, as I said, like maybe, I don't know, maybe I would be a coach or whatever. I definitely think I would love to stay in esports just because I'm so passionate about the game, and I think I found something which I'm really good at and I love doing. So number 21 is Jackson, and he says, do you love your fans? And yes, definitely I do. I mean, it's so amazing to realize what I have. Like sometimes I just check like my live count on YouTube, and for example, right now I believe I have 644,000 subscribers. And I remember like my first YouTube video when I recorded, like I actually downloaded like a free app like to record my screen. I was sitting there with my headphones, like super nervous. My English was, I mean, it's still not really good. Of course it improved like over time, but my English was really terrible. The commentary is really terrible. I'm pretty sure you can still like look up the video if you look at like one of my first videos. But it's just, amazing what you guys like, allowed me to do. And same for Clash Royale, like just, I never expected this. So I'm super thankful for that. So big shout out to all of you guys. So number 22, Ryan, and he says, how many languages do you speak? So fluently, I would say English is quite fluent. Dutch, of course, I'm from the Netherlands, and I can understand German pretty well because it's quite similar to Dutch. I can understand Spanish quite well. I can't really speak it, but for example, some conversations I can understand quite well as well. And then, of course, like in some languages, like speak a few words, like Russian, for example. I don't know, French, like just a few words, like really, really basic. So number 23 is actually Albert, and he says, from 0 to 10, how important is it for you to have a coach? So in my opinion, a coach is not only there because, for example, for me, I most of the times know what to play. But in my opinion, the coach is there to be able like to have someone to talk to just, for example, bring you like into the mood, try to calm you down, etc. So in my opinion, it's really important to have a coach. So I would say from 0 to 10, I would say maybe an 8. Number 24 is Joop. Joop, he says, what made you choose to speak in English rather than Dutch? So that's a good question as well. I think English, I can just reach more people with my content. For example, when I share decks, for example, when I share my thoughts on strategies or whatever, I just think if I would make videos in Dutch, I wouldn't be able to reach all of you guys watching, and I would never be able to have like this subscriber count and this amount of like fan base instead of like doing English what I have right now. So I definitely think I made the right decision doing that. So yeah, that's why. Number 25 is GD, and he says, when are you going to start doing champion face-offs again? I'm not sure about that, just because right now I have lots of competitions, and usually the decks I have like right now ready, I don't really want to show them in YouTube videos. Of course, I share many competitive decks already, even I use in competitive like tournaments as well. For example, recently I made a video about like the Golem 12 win, and I actually used it in the Spanish competition like 3 times. So I do share my decks, but for example, if I have to do a best of 5 and I will show my deck slots, etc., maybe opponents will be able to see that, and I don't really want to showcase all my decks, so I will try to do like a champion face-off sometime soon, but I can't promise anything. So number 26 is Martin, and he says, what is it like to have a girlfriend living in Russia while you travel that much because of competitions? So as I said before, of course it's really difficult. We try to see each other as much as possible. Actually right now I have a business visa. I managed to get a business visa, so I will try to go there as much as possible. Of course, like she works, and with my job it's easier to, for example, try to make videos there or pre-record or whatever. So as I said, I think trust is really important in a long distance relationship, and also like plans, like planning. As I said, like for example, we have plans for June, July, etc., etc. So it's basically kind of a similar question, but I still want to answer your question. Number 27, I think, 27. Garrix, he says, what is the story behind your nickname SurgicalGoblin? So as I said before, I used to play Clash of Clans, and I actually played it quite competitive. And in Clash of Clans, you had a strategy, I believe it was named Surgical Goho with Golems and Hawk Riders. So I actually took like away the first part, like Surgical, and Goblin was just something random I came up with. So I just put SurgicalGoblin as my name, and since that moment, it's like always been my nickname. So number 28, Franco, he says, how was your start in the Clash Royale competitive scene? So as I said before, I already kind of explained it, but I told you guys about like the tournaments. I was doing well. I actually finished number 2nd in like a 15k tournament. Then I actually managed to qualify for ESWC qualifier for Paris. So at that moment, I had no idea. Like I told my parents, like I won the qualifier. They actually paid the trip. Like for me, it was completely new. It was so strange. Like they paid the trip to Paris. I went there with my father. I actually managed to get 2nd. Like no one knew me. I was completely unknown. And from that moment, like everything started. People were interested in my like gameplay, like my style of playing, etc., etc., my way of playing. So they actually suggested to make a YouTube channel. As I said, like I just started with like a free app, like with my headphones, etc., just because I'm so passionate about the game, and I actually never regret it because it completely changed my entire life, and it's my best decision ever. So number 29 is Mr. Corona, and he says your favorite Clash Royale moment. So that's actually really difficult because I think I have quite a lot of moments which I will never forget. But I think one of my most favorite is King's Cup, when we like the format of King's Cup was 3 vs 3, and we were actually down, I believe. Yes, so we were down actually two of our team with Vulcan and Clash with Ash. Big shout out to them, by the way. We actually managed to win. So we were down, both of them lost, and I had to beat, first of all, Azelis, which is right now my teammate actually in Team Liquid. So I first had to beat him. I believe I swept him 3-0 in King's Cup. Then actually versus Achin, I was winning 2-0, like I was leading 2-0. Then he brought it back to 2-2, so I was super nervous. Like I believe the prize for number 1 was $60,000, of course, like for the 3, but it was insane. Like everyone was screaming, like the tension, etc. Like the pressure was just insane. Like the experience was insane. You guys should definitely rewatch it if you haven't watched like the finals, because it's, as I said, like it's insane. And then I actually managed to win that game, and I just like went crazy. I was screaming. Everyone was running on the stage. We were jumping around, etc. So I think this is my favorite Clash Royale moment ever. Number 30 is Zach, and actually the last question, but not the least, of course. So what he is asking, what do my parents think about my career, like the esports career, Clash Royale career, that I made this decision? So they are actually really supportive. We actually made the decision for me to stop studying together, also with my girlfriend, of course. Like I asked her opinion. and they're actually really happy that I found something which I'm good at, like which I love. As I said, I'm very passionate about it, so they're really happy for me and they're really supportive. So these were the 30 questions, guys. As I said in the beginning of the video, if you guys would like to see more of these kind of videos, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section down below. Because personally, I really like to do these type of videos, and I would definitely love to do it more often. Just because it's kind of like I'm interacting with you guys and a little bit more personal, rather than just all the time Clash Royale videos, which of course I also love doing. Okay, guys, this was the episode. As I said, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to smack that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to subscribe, and I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Bye, guys.